Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Peace and blessings. I'm Goddess Imani, and welcome to Sacred Love Lessons. This is a sacred space where we remember who we are, rise in our truth, and radiate the frequencies of love, clarity, and sovereignty.
Welcome back to this weekly Clarity Check-In. This week, we're covering how to access your inner authority. As you have heard in previous episodes where we covered mirrors and we talked about feedback loops and how those develop, if you haven't had a chance to listen to those episodes, I highly recommend that you go back and listen to those episodes and then catch up with us here. We learned previously that as a child, a baby, a small child, we experience feedback loops, mirrors, from our caretakers, our environments, things of that nature. Some of us are on the lighter end of the spectrum. If you've had positive feedback, good caretakers, loving, nurturing parents, you're probably more on the lighter end. And then if you had narcissistic parents, karmic mothers and fathers, or you come from a karmic family, you're going to be on the shadow end of the spectrum. Or you can fall anywhere in between, okay? That's just to give you an idea of what the spectrum looks like. Now, for me, I came from a very karmic family with a karmic narcissistic mom. I'm on the shadow end of the spectrum. I've had to do a lot of shadow work. And I'm still doing shadow work during my lifetime to clear the karmic energy. How do you tap into your inner authority? When I first started out, again, like I said before, I grew up in an environment that was mostly absent of love. I would say completely absent of love. Well, not completely, because my maternal grandmother was very loving. And there were other particular family members that were loving, like her mother was very loving. So my maternal great-grandmother was very loving as well. But in my immediate household, my mother was karmic, and it was a home that was void of love. So that made me want to know more about love. So I started seeking it out. One of the first things that I did as a small child is I would watch television shows where the people appeared to be loving. At a minimum, they were kind, and the environment looked happy and, that sort of thing. So I would watch a lot of that. Then as I got older, in my teen years, I started reading books on love. My first book on love was from the Dalai Lama, and it was about love and compassion. I started reading other cultures, other philosophies about what they had to say about love. I wanted to know what is love, what it felt like, what a loving relationship looked like, because I didn't grow up with any of that in my immediate home. I started seeking love in other people, like romantic relationships, because I wanted to feel love. I wanted to know what it felt like, what that was. And so it was just a journey of trial and error. So then there was that. And then over time, I leaned more and more into spirituality, where I started going within. I started meditating and doing breath work. By then, I had been introduced to so many spiritual teachers like Young Van Sant, Deepak Chopra, some motivational people too, like Louise Hay, Les Brown, Wayne Dyer, Janet Renee Atwood. I love her 21 meditations on love. That is everything. If you get a chance to get that will help you tremendously. I didn't learn about Janet Renee Atwood until I think like 2015 was when I first learned about her work. And that 21 meditations on love, it was a lifesaver, okay? It was definitely a lifeline. I took that information and I incorporated that in my life. So from each teacher, I just learned something different from them. Whatever I resonated with, And then I incorporated that into my life. One class that I took with Iana Van Zandt, I think it was called Grounded, where I learned how to ground my energy. And it was more than just that, but that was one of the things that I took away from that class. Everything that I learned in that particular class, I still use in my life every day. It is a part of my spiritual hygiene. You know how on a human level, there's things we do every day. We brush our teeth, we take showers, we comb our hair, all of the things, right? Hygienic things. Well, on a spiritual level, there are things that I do every day, no days off. And the things that I learned from that class, Grounded, with the Young Van Zandt in 2019, I believe, every day, no days off. Okay. To this day, every day, no days off. So, in order to tap into your inner authority, no matter where you are on the spectrum, the key is love. And in this instance, I'm talking about self-love. I remember some years ago, I think it was 2022, I lived in Mexico, and Wife Goddess and we went to an ayahuasca ceremony. And I had never, been to one of those before. It was my first time. But on the journey, I met Mama Ayahuasca. And the one thing that I remember more than anything that she said to me is she said, love is the answer, no matter the question. Love is the answer, no matter the question. So no matter what question that comes up in life, the answer is love. And I incorporated that into my life. So our journey on the return to inner authority begins with self-love. Now, there are many ways that you can show love to yourself. I'm just going to tell you about my journey, and then you can pick and choose whatever resonates with you. So the first thing that I did, like I said, growing up, I started watching TV where I would watch programs where the people seemed loving toward each other. Then I started reading about love. Then I started getting into relationships where I could feel the experience of love, what it felt like to receive love and what it felt like to give love, to share my love and light with someone else on an intimate level. I also started connecting with other people, like in groups, so I could experience the brotherly love, what it's like to experience love in friendships. So a lot of my lessons as a part of Sacred Love Lessons came through relationships. Relationship with myself, relationship with others in an intimate setting, relationship with others on a friendship setting, and then relationship with others on a spiritual level, which is a whole nother level of love, right? That's that agape love, that unconditional love, that love where it just knows no limit. Like there's been times in my life where I have tried with all of my strength to stop loving people. And guess what? I couldn't stop loving. So it's like, then I had to learn, okay, this love is so powerful. How do I harness this energy? How do I harness this light? And that's where healthy boundaries come into place, right? And we'll talk about that at another time. So I began to learn through relationships. Those have been my greatest teachers. It's been through relationship. Now, everyone teaches differently in their own unique way. Like, for example, Wife Goddess, she has taught me on how to receive love and what it feels and looks like when someone is pouring into you. She's been on all three levels. From a romantic level, from a friendship level, she's my best friend, from a spiritual level as a divine counterpart, right? So I've experienced love with her 10 on all three levels with her. And then there's been some people that have taught me the inverse of love, the inverse of love. And those people would be like my mom being my greatest teacher on the inverse of love, the opposite of what love doesn't look like. Like, this is not love. This is not loving. It's actually abusive. Then there was a false mentor that was also my greatest teacher on the inverse of love. And then I've had people in between those. Those were two extreme cases of the inverse of love. But I've also experienced other levels of the inverse of love. And on that end is, the betrayal, the sabotage, all of that in the shadow side, the inverse of love. So going through all of that, little by little, has taught me lessons that I've incorporated into my life that have helped me tap into my inner authority. Now, using the spiritual frequency hopping method, the first thing is, who am I? Who am I? I've gone through a series of who am I rounds. I can't even tell you how many rounds of who am I, but I've gone through who am I now, right? And so at some point on the journey, it gets all the way down to who am I? And the answer is, for me, I am. Period. And you just put the period right there. And so the first step is, who am I? Now, when you first go through this process, you may start off with roles, very superficial things. I did. When I first started, it was, who am I? I'm a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm an auntie. Like, very superficial things. I'm an attorney. Roles. You start off with roles. That's very, very superficial. You keep going. You keep going until you get to your truth. Now, my truth is, I am. That is my truth. You keep going until you get to your truth, whatever that looks like for you. Then number 2, what frequency are you in right now? What frequency are you in right now? Frequency awareness is so important because in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you are right now. That's so important. It's kind of like GPS, right? And then it lets you know which direction to go into. Frequency awareness will help you with that. So then that's step 2. Then step 3, choose where you want to go next. Okay? And it doesn't have to be monumental frequency hops. It could be a 1% frequency hop. 1% frequency hops, that goes with the philosophy of slow and steady wins the race. I read something about NASA and Katherine Johnson when she was doing the mathematical equations for the spaceship. If you just off by 1, that'll take your trajectory into a whole nother dimension, a whole nother atmosphere. They will miss their target by miles just by being off by 1. So even though 1% doesn't sound like a lot, it is monumental. I mean, think about a time when you at the crossroads, right? And you got a choice. You can go left or right. Or you have to be there at a certain time and you just missed it. We heard a lot of stories like that from 9/11. We also hear other stories like people will say, I was just there. Or people will say something like, I was supposed to be there, but I got stuck in traffic and I was running late. Or something happened and I didn't make it, or whatever, right? I forgot my keys, I forgot my wallet, and I had to go back in the house and get it. And just that small moment changed your trajectory. Well, it's like that. 1% frequency hop. So the frequency you want to choose is self-love. That's the frequency we are working with today to return to inner authority. So you just say it. I'm choosing the frequency of self-love. I'm choosing the frequency of self-love. Then your next step, your next action, your next thought, everything in alignment with self-love. Now, self-love, that looks different for everybody, right? It could be anything. So self-love could just be rest. If that's what it is for you, then rest. Take a nap. Go to sleep. Go to bed early. If rest for you is do nothing, then do that. Whatever form of self-love is for you, do that. Over time, little by little, you're going to come into your inner authority. You're going to tap into it. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel more validating. I validate myself. Like, a lot of times people think, well, if I just exclude Imani, if I hurt her, if I attack every area of her life, she will come back to me. Now, I know that's sick and twisted thinking, but these people are on the shadow end of the spectrum, okay? They think that, they believe that. If you don't know who you are, that's why we start with who am I, you will fall for that, okay? You will fall for the illusion. But when you know who you are, and you know you are a light being, like I know I am light. I know who I am. So none of that affects me. And all it does is make me lean more and more into my self-love. Self-love is a superpower, okay? It's a superpower. You know how in the Bible it says, the joy of your goddess God is your strength? It's like that. Joy is strength, right? Self-love is your superpower. It is a guiding light, a protective force that will guide you and usher you into your inner authority. So that's where you want to start. You want to start with self-love. And that is the frequency you want to embrace. And over time, you're going to be able to say, when you go through your who am I, at some point you're going to be able to say, I am self-love. I am self-trust. I am self-confidence. I am self-validation. I am self-acknowledgement. I am self-compassion. I am self-nurturing. I am self-respect. At some point, you're going to be able to say, I am self-mastery. And you're not going to look outside of yourself for any of that. That is your inner authority, your divine wisdom, your inspiration, your creativity, your divine guidance. All of that is your inner authority. How you hold yourself within yourself is your inner authority. The way you see yourself, your self-image, is part of your inner authority. Self-love and the self-love frequency is the answer, no matter the question. No matter where you are in life, no matter what situation you find yourself in, if you can embrace the frequency of self-love, you can rise above whatever you're facing today. You can see it from a higher perspective, even if the condition doesn't change. Okay? Because this is what remains when all else changes. This is what remains.
That's what I have for you today. Thank you for being here and sharing this sacred space with me. If this episode resonated with you, please like it and share it with someone who is ready to remember their own power. And until we speak again, be the light.